Hey everybody, this is David Barnyard Bees. If you remember our last video, we swapped out two hives. This blue hive right here was sitting right here in this position with the queen. And they had absconded and swarmed and then come back and landed right down there on that block, the queen did. So what we did, we had another colony that was sitting right here, which was that red one. It was sitting right here on the end. We had replaced that queen and it still didn't take. So they either killed it, not sure what happened. So what we ended up doing, we pulled this red hive that was sitting right there and moved it over here. Now this was a mix between the hive that swarmed and the hive that had killed its queen. Okay. So everyone would understand it, I had to kind of backtrack, and this right here is packed full of eggs. So our queen is in there. I haven't spotted her yet. That's a second frame I pulled out. Haven't seen her. It looks really great. Like I said in that last video, I do a lot of experiments, try things to see if they work, different scenarios. Still looking for the queen. I see eggs and larvae. She is definitely in there. I'm doing this one-handed, so if I don't find her and show her on film, no big deal, because she is in there. And I actually just seen the queen cage down there. But what I had done, I had a big wad of wax in one end of it. And I pulled it out and I tried to get her to walk out and tried and she never would. So I just took the wax away and put it back down in the hive. So she had to eventually walk out. I think it's probably in there tight. Yeah, I'll have to pull it out here in a second. But this little colony looks pretty good. It's growing. We're still in somewhat of a honey flow here. We're, well, I guess today is officially the first day of summer, isn't it? Isn't today June? There she is. Right there's your queen. June 20th. And they brought in some honey. We still got a nectar flow here, decent, and it would be better than what it is now. We're in somewhat of a drought. We haven't had any rain in a couple weeks. I got the soaker hose on my garden running yesterday, so it'll be okay. But the nectar flow is kind of. We have a lot of clover bloomed out, so the bees are still bringing stuff in. It's not as great as it was, but they're still working. So we're just trying to get these colonies built back up. Hold on just a second. Let me see if I can pull this, push that queen cage out. There it goes. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is the next colony over is the one we left queenless, and we're going to leave them to do a walkaway split. Let's move the junk and the brick. I got it marked, so I remember which hive it was. Let's just see what it looks like. You never know. I mean, it had eggs, young eggs, day-old eggs, and up. So shouldn't have been a problem for them to make a queen cell, but they may not have. I mean, let's look. This is why we do these experiments. You know, it's not always the best thing, but sometimes it works. Not a whole lot of bees in here, and they may not have had enough bees to do anything to make a queen cell. Not seeing anything yet. So if that be the case, you know, I won't give up on it. I'll grab another frame from another hive. And at that point, it's not going to hurt to mix anything as far as bees goes, because there's no queen to be jeopardized. So, okay, well, with their resources, and it don't always happen, they didn't make it. So, what I'll do, we'll try this again. I'll show you when it's failed. That's why, you know, we do the videos. Like I said, it doesn't always work. What I'll end up doing, I'm gonna go into another colony, find a nice frame of brood bees and fresh eggs and swap out one of these other frames with it. So let me get in another hive and get that done. Okay, here goes a baby chick running at my feet. Okay, here's what I'm going to attempt to do. I got this 2-frame nuke, and this is why I keep these. They come in so handy in situations. This was also a walkaway split that I done. It was a strong 2-frame, and put eggs in there and let them draw out queen cell. And they've already produced a queen in here, and haven't found her yet. So what I'll do, I can find her, is grab her, put her in a cage, move her over to that colony, and then let this colony, since it's got fresh eggs, let it reproduce another queen for themselves, if I can find her. Well, you don't see her there. Okay, here's what I done. I had to stop what I was doing. This is the first hive that I looked in. It had a queen, but it was a virgin queen. And there was no eggs in there. I had looked at it real quick and thought I saw eggs, and then when I went up back over it, I didn't see any. There wasn't any eggs. This happens. Sometimes, you know, your eyes get old and you think you see something, but when I really look closer, there wasn't any eggs in there. But I did find the virgin queen. Come over 2 steps to this 2-frame nuke. Here, packed out, a lot of bees, a lot of eggs, a lot of brood, and a laying queen that is very good shaped queen. So I didn't start picking the camera up to stop, because I found her. I wanted to get her on in the cage with her workers, put the little wax cork on the end of it. We'll take it back over here and get it set down in this colony. And I'm gonna go ahead and do this without dropping her. Okay, so what we got now, we got a laying queen in there. And we'll go ahead and put, there's not a lot of bees in here. So probably what I'm going to do, well, there is altogether, there's a good 1.5 frame, 2 frames of bees. So they're not bad. We'll just leave it like it is. They got time to build up, and if we need to, we'll feed them. Let's go ahead and close it up. We'll put it in there for 3 days. And that colony that's over there, that little colony, that little 2-framer, there we go. Let me put this here. I'll mark it like this so I know that there's a attention needs done in it. Okay, let's finish this video in the garden. It got hot down there. It shut my camera off. I was showing you the queen that we had pulled from. There was 2 2-frame nukes right there, almost side by side. One had a virgin queen in it. The one on the left had a good mated queen, and she had that box filled up. So we pulled that queen out and put her in that queenless nuke. So that's where we're at right now. So that's a good thing about having backup resources. Having these little 2 frames. You know, the Walkaway split that I did failed. They didn't even make a queen. There probably wasn't enough bees in there to you really, the more bees you have, the better quality Walkaway split you'll have for sure. So it's hard to do it on few bees, and that showed right there that it just doesn't work that well. And so I had backup. I had another hive there that had a queen, and it's got tons of bees. So my best bet was just let that one make another queen. So that's where we're at. Kind of a little look at my garden. I got sweet potatoes right here. Cucumber, squash. I just had, it's been real dry, extremely dry. So we put a water soaker hose out, and I did each row. I had one hose that was 150 foot long. These rows are about 135. So I got one piece hose. I got it on Amazon. But anyway, I'm just doing from the tomatoes over, and I'm on the tomatoes. That's the last one I'll do. The corn, we've been eating the corn. It's really good. I'll show you over here real quick if anyone interested in seeing a little bit of a garden. These are the potatoes that are pretty much played out. You know, they've grown their what they're going to grow and bloomed and declined, and we've been digging potatoes and trying to get some for supper for some red potatoes. Got red potatoes here, Kennebec and Kennebec on the outside 2 rows. And then the corn here, we've got 4 rows that we're eating now. These are 135 foot rows. They got 3 rows ready, and then 3 rows about next week will be ready. So we're going to be really busy starting to freeze some corn, but just thought I'd show that and finish this video up. Don't forget, folks, please help share our videos, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Barnyard Bees.